Hello and welcome to the Pet Healer Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Mitzi Vargas, and today we are going to continue our talk about seniors and their care and how great can they have those golden years. It could be definitely good quality of life, longevity, and everything else. How can we do this? Well, first of all, we need to be aware of some of the symptomology of just being old, those senior years. Some of the dogs that are adopted from shelters when they're seniors, they can actually have plenty of years of quality of life. But some symptoms like hearing loss, vision loss, they are gradual sometimes. And how can we, notice these things and what is important? Well, in our last episode, we were talking about blood work because blood work kind of like hits so many of those areas. You can actually determine kidney disease 18 months before it happens. You can see trends in blood sugar, trends in alkaline phosphatase, which is an inflammatory enzyme. You can see certain trends that can pinpoint you into maybe further diagnostics, determine if you have Cushing's disease. If your dog is gaining weight like crazy, but you are cutting down on the food, that is kind of normal in some of those aging dogs. But in some cases, it's so extreme, it's a metabolic disease called hypothyroidism. And so how do you know when you have just common age signs versus signs of an underlying disease? Well, you have to be very careful, pay a lot of attention. But some of the symptoms are related to the energy of the dog, the chi. The chi is the life force, the energy that they need to not only function properly, but to combat disease, and the energy required to repair the cells. The jing, the postnatal jing, is the energy that they get from the food and the environment, and meaning the environmental energy plus the food energy combined together, and they replenish that jing. And that jing, the essence of life, is predetermined. It's in the genetic material. And so according to Chinese medicine, you're born with a predetermined amount of jing. In my opinion, and I mentioned it in multiple episodes before, jing and the ability, the telomeres, the ability to replicate and repair and come up with new cells lines, it's genetic material and it's predetermined. So I think that's what the ancient Chinese, without the ability to use microscopes or any kind of technology, they came to the same conclusion. So it always marvels me how they did that. But for example, energy, the lack of energy, sleeping more, just not being with it. Cognitive decline sneaks in too. This is very chronic and slowly and gradual decline of the cognition, of the ability to think. And you say, well, the dog doesn't have to do any math. They don't have to drive. They don't have to read the paper. But they do interact with you. They know their routines. They're very strong into the routines. So especially cats, they are so routine oriented. If you change anything, it could cause stress or liver sheath stagnation. And that could be a cascade of symptoms and disease. That could be the accelerator, the catalyst. And so for cats, keeping the routine is paramount, and for dogs as well. But when they change the routine, when you used to walk 4 blocks and all of a sudden 2 blocks, your dog is out of breath and refuses to keep going, there's something going on. And you need to go to the doctor and have a check. But vision loss and hearing loss are gradual and they get used to it. Today, I was at work and somebody was asking me, the 13-year-old that they have, little dog, lost her hearing. She says, oh my God, she was slow to hear. Now she doesn't hear anything. Am I gonna have to put her to sleep soon? And I said, absolutely no. Your dog is perfect. He's doing great. He's eating. He's interacting. And my own senior dog, Daisy, God bless her, she's going to be 15, God willing, in 2 weeks. And she eats and she drinks and she has her little routine. She knows when to go out and everything. She walks, she uses the walls to guide herself. She knows when the time she could be dead sleep, and she knows exactly when we are starting for dinner or snacks. They have the routine for so many years, 15 years, so they know exactly when she will wake up to eat. And so quality of life is an assessment between you, your family members, and it's an honest come together, and everybody give their opinion on how far from normal your pet is. And of course, with age, we're not comparing to when they're 2 years old, obviously, but we're comparing day by day, month by month, year by year. What functions do they still have? And eating is a big one because it's survival instinct. They want to be here if they want to eat. When they stop eating, the battle is a little bit tougher to keep them in good state. So cancer is obviously the enemy of all of these seniors. Cancer processes are long. In people, they say sometimes you have cancer cells that have been in development for 10, 15 years. So in a dog or a cat, this is all comprised of a smaller time, because we are saying that one human year could be 15 years, could be 7 years, could be 5 years. So that is a big difference, right, when we compare. And so what happens in people in 15 years, it can easily happen in 3 years. So a 3-year-old dog could have cancer, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's so young. But if you think about in human age, so it's a little bit different, so it's a little bit different. So what about thinking, cancer? There are cancer screening tests, some more accurate than others, but there are cancer screening tests. And should they be part of their yearly checkup? Well, I don't know about you, but I like the VDI testing for dogs over 12 and cats over 12, because if we have some cancer in there and it can be resectable, we can take it away, then we can definitely extend the quality of life and their longevity. And so, of course, it depends on what kind of cancer and where, the location, and everything else. I had to take it. So there are multiple conditions that can affect seniors. Could affect a middle-aged dog too, or cat too. But seniors do have certain things that we have to watch for. The energy or activity level is number one. The second one, the interaction. Are they looking for you, for the other siblings in the household? Are they playing, trying to interact with, what they used to, at the level that they used to? Or is that minimizing? The eating habits, are they being more picky? Are they eating less? Remember that nutrition-wise, what they could get away when they were young may not be good for seniors. Some seniors are so chi deficient, they lack so much energy that they can't afford to digest raw foods. And so people come to me and the dogs start having watery diarrhea, start losing weight, start vomiting. And they say, but they've been on raw all their life and they did great. Yes, but there are age symptoms and age situations. And once past 7, most dogs, you have to be very careful with raw. And so that this is a real case. And so we switch the diet, all the symptoms disappear with just a diet change. And so that is so important to come to your vet, to your integrated vet practitioner to discuss this kind of things, because sometimes it's as simple as a lifestyle change. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's just an early symptom of an underlying disease. But early prevention is key into us addressing these diseases and these processes, where we can manage chronic disease integrated medicine is the best, is much better than just Western medicine for the management of chronic diseases. And we've seen this day in and day out in our practice. And I really encourage all of you listeners to do give acupuncture a chance for all these arthritic pets, because the number one problem really is, they cannot get up in the bed, they cannot jump anymore, they cannot go up the stairs or down the stairs. A lot of it is just arthritis, and arthritis is manageable. It's not the end all, but what happens is that people ignore these early signs that the dog is having trouble walking. It's not walking as far, it's not jumping, it's having trouble getting up or getting down, it's panting more. And all of these signs of pain, this low-grade pain, then if you don't pay attention, if you don't start nutraceuticals, if you don't start any kind of plan to manage this chronic issue, then what happens is that from one day to the next, the dog is paralyzed or won't walk, or it just goes downhill very fast. And so acupuncture is the best tool that I have in my tool belt, along with herbs and other TCVM pillars, to manage and to provide longer, healthier, more fruitful life for all my patients. And I hope that if you're an integrated practitioner, congratulations. If you're listening to me, this is the jam. This is our jam. Integrated medicine and senior pets go together like peanut butter and jelly. And so if you're a listener, please give integrated practitioners a chance. Look somebody near you and start offering your senior pet a golden future. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, please share it, hit the notification bell, and you will listen to our upcoming episode of the Pet Healer Podcast.